Thanks for stopping by at Twisted Art Designs. Today I want to show my Teesha Moore inspired art journal that's finally completed. This took me over a year to complete the inside signatures, and I have a video for how I did the cover, and it's based on her cover that she makes those little puff pillows and you put them together and make these cool wonky covers. And so I'll add a link to the video I did previously about my cover, and then a link to Teesha Moore's direction on how to make one, and then also her fabulous 16-page art journal that you make out of big pieces of watercolor paper. That's how I created my signatures, and I'll have her video there as well. And before I get started with my flip through, I just wanted to make the announcement that I have joined Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, and it's just a fun way for you to support me and my channel and help me continue to make the videos that I make to inspire others to create art. My first cup of coffee came from Jackie, so thank you so much, Jackie. I appreciate it, and that was super exciting to have my first support of a cup of coffee from Jackie. So there will be a link below if you want to buy me a cup or 2 or 3 of coffee. Thank you for the support, and I appreciate all my subscribers. And I want to start by thanking Teesha Moore. Her style of art journaling is so fun and so freeing. It just spoke to my heart and spoke to my soul. And when I started doing art journaling for pain management, I found her information in her videos, and the style just called out to me. So it is truly one of my favorite ways of art journaling. So she really inspired. The first part of the show and tell will be me explaining the pages, and then the last part of the show and tell will be a complete flip through of the book with just music, no words. You can just watch. So that way, if you're a viewer that likes to hear explanations and hear a little bit about the layouts and things that I put on it, then you can watch that. And if you just want to watch the flip through with just music and no words, then you can go to that point and watch it that way. Kind of doing it a little both ways, because some people like it one way and some people like videos the other way. So okay, so to start with my cover, I added a bead embroidery piece that I did. This was a beautiful piece that I created, and I wasn't sure what to do with it. It's got a mother of pearl lotus flower and a dragonfly and antique vintage buttons and lots of different Swarovski crystals and beads, and I've just kind of kept it. This is an antique piece. It's a glass bead on a metal piece, and I kind of just held on to it, not sure what to do with it, and it just looked so pretty on this cover that I added it. So I've added pieces here of materials that I've added that have pictures on them. I put some old vintage buttons. There's a key, and let's see, a little dragonfly button, and just lots of fun and interesting details. So I may add some dangles to the back, but I may not. I always put dangles on my books, so maybe this one I won't. I did a button closure with a little stretchy hair tie, a little mini hair tie that you can just undo. It's just a loop that attaches and holds it closed. So now let's get started, and I'll show you my pages. This first page is a fun collage, and it says, "Sometimes if you roll the dice, you win." I did some journaling off to the side that's just personal journaling to myself, and it just turned out really cute and colorful. So this cute little flap says, it's got a girl. I've collaged a girl coming out of a French perfume bottle, and I have the saying, "I long to be an expensive bottle of French perfume, but most days I just feel like toilet water." That's my life in a nutshell, but art journaling brings me out of it and makes me happy, brings me joy, helps relieve physical pain. So I love how that flap came out. It's just too cool, too cute. This one is Stretch and Reach for the Stars, about ideas and things, goals, being weighed down. It's just personal journaling, but I just thought I would show this to maybe give some ideas and inspire someone else. This is a retreat to my happy place, and I watch the birds out my window. This one I have another video on. It is Life, It's a Real Balancing Act, and it's got cute little animals here all stacked up, balancing on top of each other, and then on top of a circus horse. And then this one, Not My Circus and Not My Monkeys. That one is just really super fun. The horse has got a realistic tail, and so does the zebra. I think that makes it just kind of fun and interesting. I love this spread. Surrender to what is. Let go of what was. Have faith in what will be. And there's a little bee under each collaged girl is a saying. And this one in the middle, there's shine bright. This one is do what truly makes you unconditionally happy. Your happiness will surely follow. And this one, I can feel every inch of me craving balance. And then up here, this one's flipped upside down. It says the same thing. So it's like upside down versions of each other. I love how that layout came out. That was super fun. It took me forever. And then on this end flap here is something wonderful is going to happen today. It's another circus one with marionette girls. To remind me something wonderful is going to happen today. And this one, deep in their hearts, most wish to be understood and cherished. I think we all want to be cherished and understood. And that was just a fun layout to do. This one's body is an antique inkwell. I think that's kind of fun and funky. And this next one is I Am Untamed. And it has journaling to myself in this one. And at the end here on this end tab it says peace out. And then the little flap is Puppet Master or Puppet. Which one are you? And I did this little paper doll, and then it's got real strings holding her together. I put some eyelets through so it's holding her little Puppet Master strings. So are you the Puppet Master or are you the puppet? And this one is just journaling to myself, but I did it all in the hair. And art is magical. And then this one, learning to love yourself is a snap. Express yourself by making art, because art soothes the heart. And that's another antique inkwell picture. And I like adding a lot of fun details, like on the buttons on her shoes are black gloss Nouveau drops, so it makes it look like they're really raised. I like adding things that are textured. There's material pieces on here, some really beautiful batik material that were scraps from my aunt, and I added it and Mod Podged it on because they just add beautiful color and texture. And these hearts were done with what's called a lasse template. Long ago I used to teach classes on that, and it is a metal template where you use your X-Acto blade, a swivel X-Acto, and you cut the pieces of paper and fold them and then weave them in and out of each other, so it makes these really fun intertwined paper pieces. So I just thought it would be fun to add that onto the book page for some fun and interesting texture and a raised image to look at. I like adding those details. This fun flap doesn't have words. It's just got a beautiful little collaged princess in her jeans and her sneakers, and her hair I used embroidery floss, and it is braided and it goes all the way around to make the border. So that's just really fun and interesting to look at. And these are so much prettier in person than they are on camera, but I still just wanted to show them for inspiration and fun. And this says, it's never too late to be what you might have been. And then I put all kinds of words that were things from childhood on that I aspired to be. Of course, it didn't come true, but I did journal over here. I aspire to be so many things, but one thing I aspire to be the most is just to be me. And this one, Nature Nurtures My Soul. I did a background of trees. There's trees in her dress, in the material of her dress. And I used that as my inspiration for this one. This image came, I think, from a Juxtaposed magazine, and I just changed it a little, and it looks like she's wearing a hair scarf. She's got a little bird with a crown and a bird's nest in her hair. And it's just to say that nature nurtures my soul, because I truly love being out in nature. And this next layout is Speak Your Truth. It's about time. So since I said it's about time, there's clocks everywhere. There's clocks that make up the girl, and then there's clocks all throughout the layout. And then the journaling is just private journaling to myself. I love that layout. That was super fun. And on this flap, it's got this bird that I added tail feathers to, and some cute journaling pieces down here, or I mean some collage pieces. And then the words are a poem from Maya Angelou about the caged bird. And then this one, Home is Where Your Dog Is. This looks exactly like my dog Buddy that I had for 13 years. We had a wonderful, wonderful 13 years, and he lived to be 14. And I miss him. And I talked all about in my journaling how he's my soulmate, my best buddy, my king of my castle. I made the crown just out of paper. In fact, it was really thin, funky paper that I sketched out the crown, and it turned out really good. I was going to use it as a template, but I liked it, so I just threw it down and painted it and doodled it and add some jeweled nouveau to the little gems there. And I just love his crown because he's the king of my castle. Or he was. And this one on the flap are goldfish that say, when are we going to eat? Is it time to eat? We're really hungry. It's been hours. Feed me. If any of you have goldfish, you'll know the meaning behind that. My goldfish are, I hand feed them. They're beautiful, and I just love them with all my heart. And they are little, people call them water piggies, and it's true because they're just so piggy. They could eat 24 hours a day if you'd let them. So I thought that was just really cute. And I did some clear nouveau drops for the bubbles coming out of their mouths. And then I just kind of doodled the fish. And this is a 3-dimensional lotus. So I love that flap. It's really cute. And then this page, this is one of my faves as well. This is Art is Fantasy and Things That I Love. There's a gnome riding a fish, and he's got a fishing pole with a string tied, and the string goes into the fish's mouth. And then a fairy and a gnome on an otter, and this pinecone fish eating a three-dimensional butterfly, birds flying, all kinds of stuff. I love fairies, angels, gnomes, sprites, magic, and whimsy. And that's that one. And when you open this up, the right shoe can make all the difference. I made this cute collage with this girl with cool, funky shoes, and then all these fun shoes that I've added shoelaces and buttons to, and Converse, because they're one of my faves. Girl with her funky sandals on. I just love it. Fun, fun, fun. And this one says, create something. Oh, this is, I love to create something out of nothing. So it's just me journaling and talking about how much art soothes my heart and how much I love doing collage and taking little bits and pieces of things that are really nothing by themselves. They don't look like a thing, but when you put them together, they look like something else, and they're fun and funky. So it's just about creating art and making something out of nothing. And then this one is, be uniquely you, stand out, be colorful. The world needs your prismatic soul. And the water pump is pumping this colorful water, which creates her colorful rainbow hair. And this one is, when your life becomes a balancing act, you must walk the tightrope cautiously. Be strong, be resilient, have good balance. And this edge here I cut this flap wonky with hearts that say soar, love, laugh, imagine. And created a really fun and interesting flap. And this one, I cut this one and I used the other piece over here. This is Fly Free. Songbirds sing to my soul. I am the queen of my universe. There's a little bunny in her pocket. And then there's some hidden journaling to myself that you really can't see, which is okay. And then this one, Do You Believe? This was a piece that I watercolor painted and doodled, and it was a full little piece that was going to go on a card, and I decided to cut it and use it in my collage. And then I have things about do you believe in. And then this page, be happy. If it makes you happy, do it. And all my journaling is about things that make me happy. And then there's Vargas Girls that I doodled on and did some art on. A Vargas girl petting a hummingbird and sitting on a cupcake. And this was in a book about antiques, and it was a vintage paperweight, and it was huge on the page, and I thought how fun to have that huge on the page with a Vargas girl sitting on it. And this is be authentic, be true, and be real. This edge here, is cut so that when you flip it, it becomes the part of this flap with this wonderful collaged imaged. And then it flips open. Creativity comes from allowing yourself to make mistakes. And that's a super fun page. And the last page. So, I'd like to play with dolls and make paper dolls. Well, la-di frickin' da, what's your point? I love this one. It's got a collage layered flowers in her hair and wild and funky glasses. She's got a Barbie doll. I love that one. And she's sitting in a fancy shoe. I love that page. It's just way too fun. So I hope that you enjoyed this flip through of my pages. I did 3 signatures, so 3 of her 16 page journals made up this, and then her cloth cover. So it made a beautiful, wonderful journal that I'm going to enjoy for years to come. I had a great time making it, and again, Teesha Moore is very, very inspirational. So find her on Instagram. She's also got a website that shows all her artwork, and you'll find some videos on YouTube. So check out Teesha Moore. I hope you enjoyed the flip through and maybe it inspired you. You'll see something possibly that you'll say, ooh, I love that and I want to put that in my art journal. That's what I'm sharing it for, and hopefully it does that, because art soothes the heart. So go work on your journals and make art, because it's tons of fun and it relieves you from your stress of the day and problems in this crazy world we're living in, and art is the best. So thanks for stopping by.